I think when it comes to this season of my life, what God's really been teaching me is about His grace, His generosity. It's something that's at the very core of our Christianity. It's at the very core of who we are as people of faith. It's built into, our vision statement when it comes to new life as well. It's for the glory of God and the gospel of grace. And at the same time, and I was talking to Bor about this the other day as well, we tend to kind of become very cerebral in our knowledge of what grace is. When we think about His generosity, we think, of course, He's God, He gives us everything. As one example, when it comes to, my position here at New Life as well, it's something that I guess I never expected. It's something that I never thought, could happen. But, this is very much a homecoming for me. And when I even think about that, I'm like, man, that's one of the core things that we think about when it comes to the story that's in the Bible as well. When it comes to us as people, we desire a home to belong to, a place of rest. And for me, New Life is the place where my faith journey very much got a kickstart, and I really pinpoint the moment when I became a Christian, not that that's normative in any way, but I really bring that back to my time at New Life as well. And so being back here and being able to lead other people, to preach the gospel to people here at New Life, that's an incredible privilege to me. It doesn't feel, sometimes it feels very surreal in my mind as well when I think about just how much He's given. For me, I think there was a lot of guilt involved when it came to moving, when it came to transitioning, particularly because I think God had been very generous when it came to where we were at in Melbourne. Bora had a lot of older ladies of faith who had known God for 60 plus years and were pouring all of their wisdom and knowledge and experience of God into her. And just seeing that and just seeing what a difference it made for Bora, how much she grew, how much she loved her time there, made me feel very much guilty, I guess, about moving over. I wondered, am I being selfish? But Bora would constantly remind me as well, it's not about you, I feel like God's calling us there as well. And so that alleviated a lot of the guilt. When it comes to change, God really equips those that He calls. It's a really great work that God's called one person to. And it's a great work no matter where we go. It's not just about me, obviously, but anyone who's privileged enough to walk alongside so many people and to talk about the eternal gift of life, the great forgiveness of sins that we have, the love of our God and the reconciliation between man and God. What a great privilege that is. I think that God is equipping and continuing to change me and transform me. Hopefully He's growing me in my holiness. I think He is. He's causing me to love Him more and more. He's causing me to depend on Him more and more. I think my prayer life is growing in that respect. I love being back at New Life, where prayer is such a treasured part of our Christian walk. I believe, hopefully, that I've matured somewhat. I'm sure Bora can tell me otherwise, or maybe she can agree. I've been considering what my position here entails and what it's like to actually pastor New Life. It's not something that I take very lightly at the same time, because how can we? When we're talking about these things, Scripture tells us, not everyone should aspire to be teachers, because we'll be judged more harshly. I do take that very seriously. It is a burden in some respects when I think about that. And so when I think about New Life, I can't help but to pray for New Life. And I think that is the way that it should be. I love to pray for New Life. I love to pray for different people that I'm meeting. And that's one of the biggest things on my mind. I'm praying for my own personal walk with God as well. And I think, if I'm not healthy, then what am I going to do? I'll just be a hypocrite up here. And so I want to walk more closely with God. I want to love Him more and more each day that passes. Same thing for my wife as well. Continue to pray for her personal holiness, her walk with God, our relationship together, all of those things when we consider our time here at New Life.